Homeschool Guide Montessori Consulting Services is a service to families and educators. I offer initial consultations for those that are interested in talking through unique situations, whether that is finding the right curriculum for their child, toilet learning, positive discipline, starting a homeschool, learning state laws, and setting up educational environments, to name a few. Please go to my website, www.home-schoolguide.com, for more information. Welcome to the Raising Independent Thinkers show. This show is a space for families who are homeschooling or thinking about homeschooling. We'll explore alternative teaching methods, federal and state homeschooling laws, and most importantly, this is a platform where families and educators can inspire one another and share ideas on the best practices of child rearing. I am your host, Bathsheba Barber, Montessori educator, teacher consultant, homeschooling coach, owner of Homeschool Guide, LLC, wife and mother of two. Let's get started. Peace, everyone. I hope you all are doing great and feeling good. Today is May the 1st, 2022, and summer is near. I just wish that the weather here in North Carolina would stay consistent. The temperature has been changing multiple times in one day, and I have no idea what to put on. So yeah, it's that time of year where high school seniors are thinking about their next steps in life, what their plans are. Do they go to college? If so, which one? Do they find a job? If so, in what field? And they may want to start up a business or continue a business that they've been working on. Maybe they might even decide to take a gap year, which was never really a choice for me growing up. I don't even think I heard of that term until I was much older. So I remember as a young adult and senior in high school back in the 90s, I wanted to travel. I wanted to buy my own clothes. And I actually wanted to pay my own cell phone bill and just crave for that independent life. I had so many different plans in my head during that time of my life, and my main focus was to live independently. And the only way I figured out to do that was to go away to college. Even though I had no idea what I wanted to focus on as a career at that time, I think I changed my major at least 3 times. And I didn't really have adults in my life who encouraged me to start up a business or become an entrepreneur. And then back then, it was always said that if you get your degree, you'll get a good paying job. And I think many of us found out the hard way that that's just not true. You know, most of us are still paying off our student loans, except for me, but that's a whole nother show. And by the way, that reminds me that Akeem and I just came back from New Orleans, I think last Sunday, and that seminar went great. I thought Akeem did a wonderful job. He did a full day seminar, and it was really a good turnout. We met a lot of wonderful people. And I thought the attendees received some really great information and knowledge from Akeem. And one of the topics that he discussed was getting rid of the student loans So, anyone out there that needs that information, you can get a consultation with him on his website at akimel.com. That's AKIMEL.com. And I believe our next seminar will be in New York sometime this summer, so I'm excited for that. And New Orleans was such a wonderful city. The energy was very festive and the food was amazing. We definitely want to go back there. So it's that time of year where our high school seniors and homeschool families are preparing for graduation. And today I'll be talking about homeschool diploma requirements and creating a parent-issued diploma. Now, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the need for a diploma and just help get rid of some of our biases. So in today's society, you don't actually need a diploma in order to be successful. So let me say that again. You don't actually need a diploma in order to be successful. You don't even need a diploma to go to 97% of the universities here. And many people don't realize that. Even Harvard University accepts students with GEDs. They've actually accepted students without either a GED or a diploma. So when you think about it, you begin to wonder, what are these colleges looking for? And yes, many Ivy League universities are looking for intelligence, but they're also looking for examples of genuine interest, dedication, leadership, experience, and not necessarily a diploma. They may take a deeper look into your transcripts and interests if you don't have one, but you can get into college if that's what your kid wants to do. Okay. Now, having a diploma can be valuable, especially if your teenager wants to pursue a career in healthcare, become a doctor or a registered nurse, a lawyer or an engineer. These careers do require some years of schooling. However, and I say however, we are in the day of social media influencers, right? And bloggers and traveling nurses and remote entrepreneurs who are changing the game and allowing us to think of other ways to make money. So I want you to ask yourself, is it absolutely necessary for your kid to have a high school diploma? And if it is, that is completely fine. I have a diploma and I have a college degree, but I do have to say that for the majority of my career, my degree is not something that I actually needed, but it was more about me having the experience that I have. Now that I'm training adults and getting their Montessori certification, a degree is actually necessary. So it really just depends on what your kids' interests are in. So many families also feel that having a high school diploma signifies that you have followed through, that your child, successfully completed all the required courses, and also the investment of time in learning versus a GED being a 7.5-hour test that's equivalent or an alternative to a high school diploma. And again, my thoughts are that they both can lead you to success. Okay, I know a few people personally that have their GED that are extremely successful. So with that being said, as a parent of a homeschooler, you have the right to create your child's diploma. Now, it's always important to check your state laws and regulations and follow their guidelines, but the majority of states actually have no guidelines in the requirements of graduation. which means that you have a lot more freedom than you think in creating your own guidelines and also creating just a unique experience and diploma for your child. So a high school diploma is defined as an official document awarding the student who has successfully completed all necessary requirements for graduation. Again, this can be based on your state. So for example, North Carolina actually does not have a graduation requirement for homeschoolers. You know, homeschools can set their own graduation requirements. So the student will receive a diploma from the chief administrator of the homeschool, which is you, mom or dad. And in North Carolina, public schools require a total of 22 credits to graduate. So again, you can go by public school requirements, or you can choose to go by your own requirements as a homeschool. And I think this is what blows people's minds, right? I mean, it blew my mind just doing the research because I went to public school. And as a homeschooling parent, just the thought of you having so much control, you know, you can decide what types of courses your child is taking, what type of science your kid is learning throughout high school. You can decide what type of assessments they'll take and how they will take them. And the majority of the states require very little on how you teach and assess your child. So in North Carolina, for example, if my son played basketball 3 to 4 times a week, that can be considered his physical education requirement for the year. And as long as you are keeping a record, it will make it just much easier to create your kids' official transcripts once they graduate. Now, there are some criteria that you want to add to your diploma when you create it. And that is the name of the homeschool, the name of the student, of course, the city and state in which the diploma is issued, the date of the issued diploma, and the language stating that the student has been granted a high school diploma and they have completed all requirements. Now, I have created diplomas and transcripts for homeschoolers in the past for about 2 years now. And I like to have a seal of achievement on my documents, as well as printing it on fine linen paper. So if you are planning on doing this, you want to take pride in it, I would think, and make it as official as possible. And this is something you can do on your own. If you're just wanting someone to create it for you, you can go to my website at homeschoolguide.com and find the information under the shop page. And if you want more information about your particular state and laws, please schedule a consultation with me. You can go to my consultation services and go to Homeschooling Families on my website. So I hope you all enjoyed the information. Please stay tuned for another show next Sunday evening. And may prosperity, protection, and peace follow you all week long. Take care.